Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kara, and today's video is going to be my November housing market update. As always, I'm going to be separating this video into a few different sections, those being price, inventory, mortgages, local news, and other news. Real quick before I dive into today's video, if you are not already subscribed, definitely go and hit that subscribe button down below for more videos on Asheville and the real estate market. Alright, let's dive into price on a national level. The first chart I'm going to put up on the screen shows you multiple forecasts for what home prices are going to do in 2023. And as you can see, it pretty much seems like home prices are going to flatten out. Some forecasts are saying an increase of a few percent, others are saying a decrease by that amount. So it's really tough to say what's actually going to happen, as is always the case with predictions and forecasts. But overall, the general consensus from what I've been reading and seeing is that generally home prices are going to flatten out. According to a new report from NAR, annual home price growth fell from 14% in quarter 2 to 9% in quarter 3. This reiterates that the housing market is starting to cool off a little bit. This chart by Redfin shows you that the median asking price for newly listed homes is just over $370,000. This is up 7% year to year, but is actually down 7% from the record high of $400,000 that we hit in May. I want to touch just a little bit more on what home prices might do as we head into 2023. Lawrence Yoon is the chief economist of NAR, the National Association of Realtors, and he is predicting that home prices will increase right around 1% next year. However, he is expecting home prices to then jump by 5% in 2024. So I haven't really seen a whole lot of predictions for what's going to happen 2 years from now, as most of the time even predictions for 1 year end up being wrong. But I thought that this was quite interesting to kind of take a wider look and a bigger picture about what's going on. He also stated that it's quite unlikely for home prices to actually decline. It really is just the basics of supply and demand, and while demand has declined a little bit, inventory is still very, very low, even compared to pre-pandemic levels. Alright, let's hop into price on a local level. A question I get asked a lot is, what is the average rent in Asheville? Now, of course, this is going to vary based on whether you want to be in Asheville City, whether you want a single family home or just an apartment, whether you want a 3-bedroom or a studio. There are, of course, a lot of different factors to consider, but the average monthly rent in general is $1,640. Okay, now that we've covered rent prices, let's talk a little bit about home prices. Pretty soon I'm going to throw 3 different charts up on the screen that honestly are going to look quite similar, so I'm going to put them up just briefly. But let's go into those now. So for the Asheville region, the average list price in October was $525,000. This is up 12.6% compared to last October. The average sale price for October was right around $455,000, which is a 4.1% increase year over year. The median sale price for October, on the other hand, was $380,000. This is up 10.1% year over year. Another statistic I want to bring up is something that I don't really hear a lot of people talking about, but I do think that it's important, and that is the sale to list price ratio. So believe it or not, the sale to list price ratio is lower than we've seen in quite a while. It is now right around 95%. So what does that mean? Well, it's pretty simple. Basically, any given seller can expect to get about 95% of their list price for their home. Now, of course, if you are in the $300,000 range or maybe even $400,000 range, it's likely that you're still going to get 100% of your list price or even a little bit more. As I know personally, I've still seen some competition in that price range. But if you're a little bit higher, maybe 500s or 600s or higher than that, it is more likely that you'll get a little bit under list price, maybe this 95% number. This percentage is actually the lowest that we've seen it since early 2020. Alright, let's move on to inventory on a national level. I only have one statistic for this category, and that is a statistic from Redfin. About 29% of the homes that were for sale in Q3 of this year were newly built homes. This is up pretty significantly from 17% during that time period in 2019. So in other words, contractors have been quite busy building homes to meet the crazy amount of demand that we've been seeing. And because of that, there are more new homes hitting the market. Alright, let's hop into inventory on a local level. In the Asheville region, inventory is actually down 4.6% from last year. This might go against some of the headlines that you've been seeing where inventory is rising, and while that may be the case in some parts of the country, it's not necessarily the case here in Asheville, at least when we compare it to last year. The next chart shows you the month supply of inventory for the Asheville region, which is currently right at 2.2%. This is 10% higher than last year, however, it's nowhere near the national number of right around 3. So you might be wondering, what exactly does month supply of inventory mean? Well, the number is calculated by taking the number of homes for sale at the end of any given month divided by the average monthly pending sales for the last 12 months. So this is a statistic that I've been bringing up a lot in my videos recently because a lot of the headlines out there will make you believe that we are in a buyer's market when we are most certainly not in a buyer's market. I won't put the chart up on the screen for a third time because I think I put it up in every video prior, so if you missed it, go check out one of my September housing market update videos or October, one of those. But basically, if we have below 6 months of inventory, we are in a seller's market. If we have between 6 and 7 months of inventory, we are in a neutral market. And if we have 7+ months of inventory, then we are in a buyer's market. So yes, homes are sitting on the market a bit longer. Yes, demand has gone down and competition has lessened as well. Yes, interest rates are increasing, and there are all these factors that we have to consider. But the fact of the matter is, inventory is still low, and that is really the driving factor for this continued seller's market. Alright, now on to mortgages. You may have heard that mortgages did hit 7%, but they have now dropped below that amount. I want to say I may have heard the lowest number being right around 6.5%, but probably more like 6.75. Basically, they are below 7% now, and this has caused an increase in demand. From what I've heard talking to people locally and also reading different news articles, it seems like interest rates will probably stabilize right around here for a little bit. I don't think anyone's really predicting that they're going to go to 8% or anything like that anytime soon, but they'll probably stick around the 6s is kind of what I've been gathering. Alright, moving on to local news. I recently read that the North Carolina Department of Transportation is going to be replacing some aging bridges with some that help wildlife and reduce collisions. I think that this is a really great idea, especially with the growing population in Asheville and just how much nature is around us. This area is full of all different kinds of plants and animals, and I think that it's really neat that DOT is taking a step towards preserving wildlife. I know when I drive down to Florida, there's one bridge, I want to say on I-95, kind of near St. Augustine maybe, I'm not exactly sure where it is, but there's a bridge there that's a wildlife bridge, and I just think that that's really, really neat, and it's cool to see other places doing that too. Alright, let's end out this video with 2 statistics in the other news category. Only 26% of home buyers purchased their first home in 2022. This is a drop of 8% from last year and a 24% drop from the all-time high that we reached in 2010. In addition to this, the average age of a first-time home buyer has now reached a record high of 36. This to me is just absolutely crazy, but it's really not that surprising. Myself, being in my 30s, it doesn't surprise me considering all of the things that have happened in my lifetime with the economy and the real estate market, just you name it. It's pretty sad to see this happen to my generation. There's really not a whole lot of good news that I can share regarding this statistic especially because interest rates and inflation are both high right now. This next statistic is also not the most positive, but if you know me, I am not someone to sugarcoat things, so I'm just going to tell you how it is. The median income required to purchase a median-priced home was $50K before the pandemic. This now stands at $85K, and real income, in other words, adjusted for inflation, has not risen to meet this. So while this isn't the greatest news by any means, I do want to add in here that it's not going to stay like this forever. If there's anything that's certain in real estate, it's that the real estate market is cyclical and nothing stays the same forever. So while we may be in a seller's market right now, we'll be in a buyer's market sometime in the future and a neutral market before that. That doesn't necessarily mean that home prices are going to be below what they are now and that you'll get a better deal in the future. It might actually still make sense for you to buy now and get that higher interest rate and then maybe just refinance your loan to a lower interest rate. But if you bought the home at a better price, then it might make sense to do it now. Anyways, there are a lot of different things to consider when buying or selling a home. And if you ever have any questions on this or just want to chat with me about the Asheville area and just kind of pick my brain, always feel free to reach out to me. I'll leave my contact info in the description box below and also at the end of this video. Real quick before I end out this video, I believe I've said this in every video that I've filmed lately, but I apologize for still not managing to upload on a weekly basis. I was so good about that last year, and I feel like the beginning of this year too, but work has just really ramped up the latter half of this year, and it's definitely been keeping me busy. But I do want to film some more videos for you guys. I feel like my brain is not really in the most creative space right now, and I'm kind of struggling with coming up with content ideas. So if you guys have videos that you would like me to film, please leave those in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Personally, I like filming more vlog style videos. They take a lot longer to edit than sit down videos like this. But yeah, I just really enjoy that kind of style of video and just kind of filming my day or exploring a new area or something. But anyways, yeah, these housing market update videos, I'll probably always do these monthly. But anything else that you guys want to see, definitely let me know. Well, instead of rambling on, I'm going to end the video here. If you are not already subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button down below, hit the like button, share it with your family and friends, do all that stuff, and I will see you guys very soon in the next one.